A very good morning to you. I'm hoping it's a very good morning to you, and afternoon or evening, wherever you are across the world. I am Rhonda Fair from TTKMS. That's right. This is a topic that in an area on this station that we can talk about truth. So I'm listening. I'm listening to the FBI talk and how how he comes to conclusion, the way the person's actions, what he says, what he does, what he hears, all these behaviors, and what he could come to a conclusion of. But I am in agreement with him. But what really got me was, why does he have to do that? Why does he have to waste his time? So James goes in and does the preaching. Holy Spirit, why isn't the law, the law, why isn't it taught in the pulpit like the truth? Holy Spirit. I just said, because they don't care they don't care. They don't care, James. They don't care. So take the fun out of their game. I don't care. I don't care. Here, how stupid does it sound if I said to you, oh, here, take the gun, go ahead, shoot, go. How stupid does that sound when I say that? No more stupid than it is for you to go and shoot somebody or do voyeurism or cause problems in a church, in a home, or on the streets, or in your school. So take the fun out of it. Here, don't I sound really stupid? If I go ahead, that's what you want. Here, take it. Go ahead. You want to be sick? Go ahead. You have a choice. You have a will. Go ahead. My point is, doesn't that sound damn stupid? So is the actions of doing it. You make the choice. You make choices. You make the choices to want to do right from wrong ever since you were little when your parents were supposed to teach you. So, genetics loads this gun. Genetics loads my nice little gun here. Genetics loads us, and we can take this and pull the trigger. Now, what are we firing out? What are we firing out? Blanks? Are we to cause harm? Or even point a gun at somebody? How stupid is that? That's pretty bad, isn't it? That's dangerous. But I'm making a point here. Isn't that stupid? To want to go ahead, run, rape. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? Or take Job from the Bible, and you co-leader and you go and teach people that they are Job, and you know it's wrong because you know right from wrong. You know if you do harm, it's wrong. If you do right, it's right. But doesn't it sound stupid? It does not take a lot of intelligence. You can be completely ignorant and know this much to know right from wrong. Every station I turn on, every program I turn on, it's assault, abuse. What happened to you, Rhonda? Because the person pulled the trigger, decided their own doctrine. that simple. People across the world. And that's why people that are made AI are now saying, let's stop it. I meant it for good, not for people to go and just like boom, 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 to harm. That isn't what it was intended for. And our hearts aren't intended for that either. But we make a choice. Then you go, well, you're a Christian and I'm gay and I don't like you because you're a Christian. Why? Because my heart has been changed? I have a daughter that's gay. Does that mean she's supposed to hate me? Is that what you guys are doing, playing evolution against Christianity on her? Isn't that the crap you're playing on her? With her mind? Cult leader? Isn't that the game you played on my brother and told him to get gone out of the house? Or my daughters, or my family? You genetically were loaded when you were born into sin and you lied down with your legs spread. Or you can close them and stand up for what's right. So, you were born loaded into sin, but you have a choice to lie down and stay there in your swiny insanity or pull, pull this as something healthy. So that FBI agent is sitting there teaching on how to talk to somebody and not be with judgment, but just talk to the person. So, we hear, well, this one got abused and that one got screwed and, and that one had voyeurism and that one had a gun to her head and that one had a knife to the head and that one likes to eat people and that one just thinks it's really cool because we can just take body parts and sit them over here. Yeah, I did that because I just felt like it. You made that choice. But you want people to believe that you're freaking insane. We're all insane in this world. But we make a choice. We make a choice. But no, we got to make excuses. No, we'll just tell everybody we're just mentally unstable. So I can just do it for fun because this is a game. Because you are living with a debased mind in insanity. And we are born into insanity. And we have choices. Why does the fireman have to run to your door? Why do authorities have to run to your door? Why are children calling up 911? And that just gets me going. 911. My mommy and daddy are on the floor and it's sickening. It's hard to even listen to this 911 call because you were born with a loaded gun and you decided to pull the trigger of hate. Because you ran out there on emotion and killed those kids' parents. Well, his 4-year-old is calling 911 and freaking out. You made that choice. Here's another one. You run a business, and I'm listening to FBI and CIA and RCMP. Like, I listen to the firemen. I'm listening to every authority. I'm listening to Dr. Phil. I'm listening to Joe Navarro. He's like One of my favorites in behaviors. What I'm getting a point across is you can act insane. How stupid did I look doing that? How ridiculous did I look? It's messed up, right? Can you imagine a person did this in action to harm another? We got to be a sound mind with sound doctrine. So that man, or Dr. Phil, or Joe Navarro, or Chase Hughes, and everybody else, and all the talk shows, and Lisa, all have to come together to get women justice. Women of impact, as Lisa has there. Because people we're talking about what I just talked about. And it sounds crazy, right? Some of you might be crying or think that's weird or crazy, whatever. But they did it. That's what I'm getting my point across. They did it. They made a choice, right? That's choices we make. We've got to stay of sound mind. We need our hearts changed. Got to have us be a sound mind. And we got to bring up children in a healthy way. And if we didn't do it before, because I did not, I need to do it now. You don't go, well, because I didn't do it before, just don't bother now. No, it means now is the time. It don't matter if you're 6 or 60. Now is the time to make change. But we can't change the dark hearts. We can't do it. So when I'm telling authorities, or I'm talking to people and I'm saying, look, we're not Job. None of us are Job. I'm not trying to go out and shame people for using Job on people. I'm making my point, you know right from wrong. And don't do it anymore. Don't teach it anymore. If you don't know it, just say, I don't know it. I could have my PhD and walk up and sit with Dr. Phil and he could tell me stuff I just don't know. Oh, Dr. Phil, I don't know. And I know I have my PhD in this, but I didn't learn that. Can you teach me it, please? So I can learn. Can you back it up? Show me. Teach me. There's a difference. That's what I'm stating. My old way was like, sure, I'll go to that party. I'll be your designated driver, okay? I'll look really cool and fit in. You can ask my brother. He would tell you. He says, Rhonda, you just don't fit in here. But I liked being there, not for the fact of the big partying part. I liked the dancing, and I liked the fact that I could drive some of his friends home. Because I just wanted them to be safe. Because I cared. Well, because my family's going there and we're going to be dancing, my cousins would come in and we go to Mustang Sally's and they'd have bands and we dance and sing. We have a blast there. And then if I only had one or two drinks, or if I didn't at all, that I would offer to go in their car. I said, okay, John, I'll go in their cars. And half the cars, his friends are not people that drive vehicles that are just simple. And they can't tell me how to drive these new vehicles. There's a lot of stuff in them. So I got to figure it out. And then I get them in, I can take them home. Not because they're stupid, because they're being smart and making sure someone is getting them home. It's called a designated driver. You see. That's why for times of anxiety or times of troubles, a time of unrighteousness, a time of wicked, a time of evil, we have to have our mindset changed. Ever since I was a little girl, oh, you don't fit in because you're just too nice. You're just too kind. You're the one we looked out. You're our goal. You're our model. No, I'm not. That's nice. I like, the fact that I can help out, but I'm not a god. I just can't fix it, but I can help. But you can't fix something you didn't break. We're born into here. I can't fix my heart. Surgically, if I fed myself wrong things, a doctor has to do it. They're supposed to, and if they don't, they're a criminal, right? But when I'm talking about changing hearts, it means from that dark place and cleaning it up, washing it up, make it healthy. Andrew Boston Monty talks about this a lot lately. By the way, he's former CIA, him and his wife. Yeah. When I use this because I have this. So I'm making a point because Barbara O'Neill always talks about genetics loads the gun and we pull the trigger. My friend gave me this. He was teaching me well, I don't have BBs, but with BBs, how to aim because I did it in cadets and stuff. And he would teach me that because I enjoy it. It's a fun sport for me in a safe environment. It helps me. And we have fun. Do you understand now? When you see police officers out there, if we took our religions, do you not have to sign a contract not to do this? Take your religions in and work on your religions in a business? If I took my religions, let's say I was not about love, and I decided that I'm a cult. Let's say I'm a cult leader, and I decide, oh, we're going to make Rhonda the leader of this business. Do you think I'm going to do healthy things for that business? No, only healthy things for me. I'm going to bring anybody I want in. I don't care who it is. As long as, they show me a piece of paper, right? They show me a piece of paper. Yep, that's right. And you're going to do it. Yeah, I can do it. We're all good, right? So, who is the leader of this business? And so they say, okay, Rhonda, we want you to run the business. What if I was of a bad way? They don't know it. I'm great at hiding things. And I start hiring people, having people in that are just trash. But you think it's for good, right? You think it's for good. They decide who's going to come, who's going to go, who's going to do what. But it ends up, I'm tearing the business down. I'm hurting people. I'm causing problems in areas in the business. Because genetics loads the gun. I chose to stay in my sin. And I pulled the trigger on them of darkness. And that's why it falls apart. And the fellas that did AI, what they did was they were pulling trigger of love. And man over here with darkness took that good source and started cloning, started changing engineers' work, started doing what they wanted to do. Yes, it does great things, but it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a heart. And so think about that. What do you think? Everybody at college, most of them failed because they used AI. They got a big zero. That's when the professor ran up to me. She runs on the bus. Rhonda, Rhonda, Rhonda. What? Starts talking about this. She says, what do they think? We're stupid? I guess so. There's a time to use things for good reasons, right? That's my point. That's my point I'm getting across. Every time I hear Dr. Phil or Chase Hughes or Andrew Bustamante or, these really great scientists that take from the truth, or, anyone, and takes the truth and just helps a business grow or helps another person grow. So if you call me being a designated driver weird, I'll take the weird. If you call me weird because I decided not to drink anymore, then I'll be called weird. If you decide to call me weird because I don't want to take drugs, I'll take the weird. If you choose to call me weird because I am seeking a man that nurtures, cares, and builds up a woman and is very nourishing, and I want to do the same back, then call me weird. If you think I'm weird because I only want to have sexual activity, when you're seeking and you think that's one and they turn on you, you have to go to the next. You don't have to show your vagina or your breasts. It's a trick. I know they did it to me. What I'm saying is, you matter. Or if I reach to authority and I said, look, will you hack into my stuff? I'd like you to read every message that comes back and forth. Did I check to see if that authority figure, I take it as if I'm going to see an authority figure out there with a badge saying he's here to protect me in his walk, I'm going to hopefully trust that. So I'm going to take my trust in that person and say, look, read my messages. Read somebody else's messages because this game's gone too far. That's where I have to set my trust in someone. You have to trust somebody. Your children should be able to trust you. Your children shouldn't have to wake up and peek through a door to see if it's okay, if they can be themselves or not. My mom should be able to get up in the morning and just be her without having to look out the window and see who's there all the time. See, a lot of times what we want to do is, like the AI guy, and even performers say, well, Rhonda, we want something good for you. So, because genetics loads the gun and we want to pull the trigger of good, what happens is man grabs those pieces and they trigger it out there and they cause problems. Even though their intentions were for good, other people take it and they destroy it. Meanwhile, that person that started doing this, intentions were healthy. And that's the same with what we do in our life, is what I'm getting at. So then you send two messages to me right now, one from one place and one from the other. It's your game. One from the Y, one from work. It's your game. You pulled that trigger. So that's what I'm getting at. When we eat health, it's wealth. So Barbara says, okay, we are this. We came into sin. We came into sin. We're going to lie down and be dead or allow people to use us as sex in every way, voyeurism, you name it. Or we can pull the trigger. Oh, cayenne pepper, thin my blood out. She needs it. Oh, Celtic salt. That's going to absorb that into my blood, my cells. That's what everyone is trying to say. James, he goes on here. But they're not teaching that. It's not a sound doctrine. They don't care about Holy Spirit. Of course they don't, James. Because they're still here. The genetics look good and they're dead. They're dead. Because it's easy to take all that junk in. But you see, then I go, James, they don't care. Because the only thing is, I'm saying, all that stuff, James, they can't take it with them. That's why I'm using this as a figure. Because every time I hear it, I can think, I got to use this for an example. Oh, what my daughter does, my daughters, or my brother that I only have left, or your brother or sister, mom or dad, or whatever it may be, they have choices. But when you force religions on people and tell me I have to be celibate, excuse me, I'm not a virgin, I had children, and that's just the way it is. Once you are done, once you have sex, that's it. You are no longer a virgin. You're not reborn into another new virginity. You had children, you had sex, that's it. Okay? Once you have sex, there's no more virginity. It's done. So you can go and have children and then tell everybody you're going to be celibate for this person. You can't be. You've already not a virgin. I can't be a virgin to a non-virgin back to a virgin. It's impossible. I had children. Beautiful. I loved giving birth to my children. Here, chapter 14 of Proverbs. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. What does that mean? Well, we are the women. Okay, we are the women in the Bible. We are the brides. He is the groom, if we have our hearts changed. So every person in this world that is buildeth her house, we are the house, builds up her house the right way on his foundation, will do well. Anyone that plucketh a person down or stumbles or causes any harm is nothing but foolish. That's what that verse is. Right? So, Ecclesiastes, I think it's in Ecclesiastes. Yeah. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men. Genetics loads a gun. We make a choice to pull that trigger. A man to whom God hath given riches, wealth, and honor, so that by wanteth nothing for his soul of all that he desireth. Yet God giveth him not power to eat thereof, but a stranger eateth it. That is vanity, and it is an evil disease. Go back and read the scriptures before. Then go read the scriptures after and see what the scripture is about. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth. So that means he owns everything. He's given you the opportunity to have it all or take it away. To steal from somebody, he's testing you for everything you have. If you steal, you're going to get it. You're going to lose. You're going to get it taken away. Everybody knows that. And you'll think it's because you were sick or something happened in your business. But that's God working, saying, look, you were supposed to listen to me. So now I'm giving you the opportunity to learn again, and then we'll see, we'll work on that again. See, God can use people everywhere. He can use your enemies. See, people aren't really your enemies because they're enemies to themselves. They're not really, it's like when your heart's not changed, people can desire you and want to do voyeurism because they're interested in you and then act upon and gossip and say they don't like you. It's because they don't like themselves. They don't like themselves. And once they understand how wonderful they are that God created, things will change in their life. Yeah. And that's where this comes in, right? You know, I get people come up and brag to me, oh, yeah, I got this good and I got good for you. These are not toys. There is toy ones you can get. These are not toys. It is not a license to kill. You're already born in dead. It's whether we want to come alive or not. I'm not Job. I'm Rhonda Fair. And what I'm stating here is the truth. Back it up. Whoever is among you that feareth the Lord, obeyeth the voice of his servant, walketh in darkness and hath no light, question mark, let him trust in the name of the Lord and stay upon his God. He's asked, excuse me, Olive, come on, I'll show you, I'll teach you. I'm not going to force my way in, but whenever you're ready, I'll help you. I don't want you to cry anymore. I don't want you to be angry anymore all the time. I don't want you to be sad. I don't want you to have an abusive marriage. I don't want you to have abusive families. I don't want you to have to cause problems to authorities. I don't want you to live that way. I don't want you to beat up animals. I don't want you to treat all this beautiful plants and animals I've given you. I don't want you to treat it bad. So I'm just waiting. Whenever you're ready, I can soften your heart for you. Oh, geez. Oh, thank you, because I need mine softened because I have this vengeance thoughts in my mind. Remove them from me. And the commandment is a lamp and the law is light. The commandment is a lamp and the law is light. Let him trust in the name of him. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down. For the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. The commandment is a lamp and the law is light. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall arise, and when I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. And I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I've sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. So you have a choice. Knock, knock, knock. You want to come in? You open the door. You want me to come in? If not, okay, I'll just wait. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if in thy eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. If there the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is the darkness? I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now 3 days, and have nothing to eat. I will not send them away fasting. These they faint in the way. Why would you make someone starve? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to your family and friends? A cult would do that. Maybe they forced you and tricked you and told you you had to do that. It was part of the game plan. That it was their belief. Because they aren't filled with the Spirit. That's what James talking about. I says, because James, they don't care. It's their way or the high, no way. We have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities. They brought your young children to him, and he took them up in his arms to put his hands upon them and bless them. I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek the servant, for I do not forget thy commandments. The Son of Man is come to seek and to save to which was lost. You were as sheep going astray, but now return unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. I will feed my flock, feed the truth, okay? And I will cause them to lie down, and said the Lord God. This is in Psalms 112, Isaiah 50:10, Psalms 37:24, Proverbs 6:23, Micah 7:8-9, Isaiah 40:11, Matthew 25:32, Hebrews 4:23, and continue. Just like the fella, he says, he talk show host, he listened to Bai. He finally came to Jesus because he went and studied the Quran. He went and studied Torah. He went and studied Christianity. He kept saying, why is the Lord saying, God forgive them for, he's talking about why would Jesus say to himself, why did you forsake me? Because a long time ago, these scriptures were written before Jesus was born. His crucifixion was already told about. And in Psalms 22 and in Mark and Matthew, it talks about this too. And it's about us filthy rags, us worms in the ground. We forsaked him. He was crucified and risen for us. That's what it was about. But you got to go back it up. I shared a little video for you. I'll put it under here. And it's choices. But again, instead of living in fear and being afraid of people and be living in putting your head down in shame, God doesn't shame you. So you're shaming yourself. It's not the innocent person's fault. So you can rise up from that. So again, to know that dancing into your matter and folding the truth of freedom, that we are loaded this gun in this world in sin, but it's up to us to make a choice or our will to decide what we're going to do with it. And if we're not brought up the right way, which I did not bring my children up the right way to start out with. And when I pulled the trigger, they thought I was, a good mom, protecting them, but they shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. But it happened because God can use that. But it's not okay to do it. Okay? We know right from wrong, but we can get tricked and stuck. Well, no, because, if I do that, I'm not going to have this house anymore. I'm not going to have this nice furniture, and I'm not going to have that kind of money anymore. And then when I take my kids, I'm just going to have nothing. Yeah, you do. I was pushed out the door. How many times in the past 3 years? I went to a mission store, and I'm happy with what I have. Always have been. So when that trigger is pulled, is who pulled that trigger on you? Yourself or others? To dance into your matter, unfolding the truth of freedom. I'm Rhonda Fair from Feed Miss Basket, TKMS, from above. And back it up, and God bless.